Hey everybody, this is Kim Pardy with Canadian Musician Magazine, and I'm here with Jimmy of Ascot Royals. They actually just finished their live performance transformation with Tom Jackson, and we're going to chat about that real quick, see how it went. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. That was a lot of fun. That was a good time out there, and yeah, very insightful. Made us see a few things that we were missing as a band, and it was a great experience.
Was there anything in particular that you would take away from it, or was there anything that surprised you about it, first off?
It's great to do something like that with somebody with such knowledge, because it's one of those things that you don't, as a band, you don't think about the aesthetics a lot of the time, or the way it looks out there to the crowd, to the audience. So it's really cool to sort of have those moments of thinking more so outside the box with where you should be and how it looks and how it comes across and the vibe and the energy. So it was cool. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys were having a good time with it. So, do you think there's aspects of it that you'll use going forward in your performances?
Yeah, big time. I think it's given us a lot to think about when we do rehearse and when we do set up for tours and stuff like that as well too. To kind of just to plot it out a little bit, but keep it organic as we do it, and just have fun with it, mess with it a bit.
It's fun to mess with it a little bit, yeah. Ascot Royal, you guys have been together about 9 years now. Is it true you all started basically at Metalworks?
Yeah, so the initial idea, the initial concept, the initial band actually started about 9 years back, but we've had a few different member changes. So this lineup, it's been about 5 to 6 years, and I ended up meeting Sam, Tao, and I met at Metalworks in Mississauga, and then from there we picked up Scotty, our bassist, on the way through a photographer friend, and yeah, just kind of meshed really well. And from the different dynamics and different influences that we have, we kind of meshed really well, and it seems to be working. So we're just going to continue with it, I guess.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Yeah. About 4 years ago, the band was going along doing its thing and, was writing songs, producing, performing, and I guess something rather huge happened, and it kind of put things a little on pause. Do you want to talk about that? Just say what happened?
Yeah, no, definitely. Basically, 4 years back, we had our van got stolen. It was one of those things where you're only as good as your instrument, sort of thing. It's your trade, you know what I mean? It's how you do what you do, and it's one of those things that it hit us hard, and it was a shock, and it was a horrible situation. But that Friday, it was one of those things that we had a jam session, and by that Friday we had enough friends and support from our local communities in Brantford and Hamilton, where we're residing now, and they came out of the woodwork and they helped us out, and we had the instruments to be able to continue playing. And then we had two fundraiser shows, one in Brantford, one in Toronto, and bands helped us out with different silent auction memorabilia from their stuff. And it was one of those things where it took the worst situation we've been through and kind of like, or one of the worst, sorry, that we've been through, and kind of flipped it into a sort of positive. And because you have that decision to make where it's like, do we pack it in or do we keep going? And we ended up coming back harder with it and just continuing to grow. And when you have people coming out in droves and coming out and supporting you in that way, it hits you, because it's crazy to see.
It makes an impact, definitely. Absolutely. So, over the years, you've collaborated with quite a few, and I guess once you did make the decision to go and continue with the band, you went into the studio and you went in with Gavin Brown. So, which obviously everyone knows who Gavin Brown is. He's quite a successful producer. You've also worked with Eric Ratz, Gianni from Walk Off the Earth, as well as, Neil from 3 Days Grace. So I would imagine working with that caliber, that high caliber of producers, there's got to be a lot that you take away from those experiences.
It's honestly, it's one of those things with music. You're never sort of satisfied, and that's what keeps you going and keeps you growing. And it's one of those things that you learn so much from these people because they're masters of their trade. It's one of those things that you come in and you just got to be open-minded, as today was an example of as well too. It's you go in, you be open-minded about it, and you pick up anything, something, tons of things sometimes. It's one of those things that you just got to continue to learn, continue to grow, continue to enjoy it. And we've been sort of blessed in the scenarios that we've been put in with these different people that you just mentioned. And it's been surreal. It's been one of those things where it's kind of snowballed in a fun sort of way, and it's cool. It's cool to pick up on vibes and just enjoy the company that surrounds you, and yeah.
Yeah, you guys have been doing it, like I said, for quite some time, but you've had some great experiences along the way working with these people. So it's great to see that you're open to that and including a process like today. So it's good that it applied all around. So you have a really energetic live show. Anybody who has seen you is well aware of this, and what he said about you needing to take up the front of the stage a bit more. It was totally bang on. So I just wanted to mention that one of the songs that you have is "The Best Is Yet to Come," which of course is very upbeat and positive, and it reached top 25 on Canadian rock radio. So I wanted to ask, when you go to write your songs, do you intend to go with the positive upbeat, or does it just come from a place that's organic?
With it, it's one of those things that like we kind of let the song go in its own direction. Like we don't set out to say, is it going to be a happy song? Is it going to be a sad song? Is it going to be a fast song or a slow song? We kind of, Tal and I will take the core idea and sort of bounce it about for a day or so. Sometimes a lot longer if it's a bit of a frustrating one, but it's one of those that with it we always try and put a sort of positive twist on it, because I find that a lot of artists don't. It's one of those that we always try and be happy people and yeah, just continue to sort of like find, like the example of the truck being stolen in the prior question. It's one of those things that like a lot of positive did come out from that, and it's kind of flipping it on its head and trying to see that in something, and the sort of light at the end of the tunnel isn't always a train sort of thing. It's sometimes a good vibe at the end of it. So it's just messing with it, and it's I'm sure we will write some sad songs as well too, but right now we're in a good place, so we continue to just vibe off of what we're doing, because we're having fun with it.
I think, and that's, yeah, because I think there's a few artists that it would be great if they did kind of went a little more positive, but obviously you can't if it's not organically there, or exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so in support of your new EP, New Skin, you were recently touring across Canada, and you opened for Big Wreck. Can you just talk a little bit about how that was for you?
It was honestly, it was magic. It was one of those things that, like, the only word that describes it is genuinely surreal. It was we got to see the country, we got to see the beautiful land that we get to live in, sort of thing. And that being said too, though, every night you're playing these beautiful massive rooms, and so you get the high from that, and then after you get to just watch these masters just do what they do, these magicians, they're incredible, and it's every one of them are incredibly talented musicians, and they're the nicest, most welcoming guys you could ask for to cross Canada with. It was great, from the crew to the band. It was just one of those things that it couldn't have gone better for us. It was a dream.
So it's a perfect example of what you would hope for, I guess, on a tour like that. So, yeah. You just finished with Tom Jackson, of course, and you've opened with, and I have to have the list here because there's been quite a few good ones. You've also toured with Down with Webster, USS, Sublime, and Rome. So I just wanted to find out, in working with those artists as well, being on tour, I would imagine they would have influenced your show on tour as well, like your live impact with the crowd. So how were those experiences as well? Did they also benefit, I would imagine?
Like a few of them were sort of one-off shows, but it's one of those things that, being an artist and a musician, I find you just have to be a sponge with it and open to different things. Like, even if it's not your sort of cup of tea, it's one of those things that you can still take different things from it, take different ideas, concepts, make them your own, and grow from them as well too. And whether it's stage presence of, say, Human Kebab and Ash for USS, it's one of those things that they are such energetic guys that it really kind of perked us up. It was one of those things that we watched it and we go, that's fun. That's cool. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to see somebody ride at that high for so long, and so it's inspiring. It's one of those things that you always sort of grow from it. But yeah.
And that works like that, exactly. I mean, it's always good when you get those experiences. So, well, I just want to thank you for taking the time to sit, because I know the rest of the band is busy tearing down and loading up the van and waiting for you. So
you saved me a job to do. So no, I appreciate it. Honestly.
You're very welcome. Okay. So I just want to ask one last question. Basically, what is next for Ascot Royals?
Honestly, we're just continuing to write, record, and the festival season's coming up. So we've got a few things that we're going to be announcing periodically, sort of thing, coming up that we're really excited for, and yeah, just hopefully working towards an LP rather than an EP sort of thing. Like we're very happy with New Skin, our release. It's a good EP. It's a good understanding of who we are, sort of thing. But we're very much excited to do the full sort of shebang at some point. I can't put a date on it because we literally just released New Skin, but just keep working, keep hopefully getting better and having fun with it.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time,
Thank you.
and I look forward to seeing what's coming up next for you guys. This is Kim Pardy with Canadian Musician Magazine. See you soon.